I obviously grew up in India. Like I've got four sisters, so I've got two older, two younger. Growing up in India, like we didn't really have many opportunities, especially because we used to live in like the very rural part of India.
I'm very curious, like what really sparked your interest with trading?
Like I probably made like $20 in my first like couple of trades, but it was still like, oh my gosh, like I could have made this much money from like 1 hour of work in my part-time job, but I'm not working. I'm literally on my computer looking at charts and making $20 through that. I could go study to be an engineer or a doctor or whatever my parents want me to do, but would I be happy with that? Like would I be satisfied day to day to work in that field? The answer was no. The only person you should be making proud is just yourself. It's all up to you. Blame the government, blame your siblings, blame your parents. Like people love blaming others for how their life is instead of changing and doing something about it.
Some people follow the path they were given, others decide to rewrite it completely. Today's guest is someone who chose not to wait for an opportunity, she built it. Known online as Neha Jat, she represents a new generation of entrepreneurs who are redefining what success looks like in the digital age. From navigating uncertainty to stepping into the world of online business, her journey reflects something deeper than just income. It reflects belief and the decision to bet on yourself when nothing is guaranteed. Welcome to Become the Victor, where we don't just talk about what someone went through, we talk about who they became because of it. Please welcome Neha Jat.
Amazing. Thank you for that, Victor. Awesome. So, my name is Neha. Just a little bit about me. So, I'm actually based in New Zealand. So, currently I'm 20 years old. Pretty much I've been working online for nearly 2 years now. So, what it is that I do, do network marketing as well as trading and investing. So, potentially 2 years ago, I was in uni, so I was studying full-time fashion design, got out of my hometown, and really just started doing something else. And this business just came out of nowhere. So I was in my very first year on like the end of my very first year, and I was like, you know what? I don't really know what I want to be doing. Like, do I want to go to uni next year? Because a lot of my friends were like dropping out somewhere and going on to that second year. And I was like, if I go into my second year, why not do my third year and finish my bachelor's? But I was at a stage where I was already really drained out from uni. So I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just drop out, do a full-time job and just save up some money to travel or like start my own business. But I don't know what happened. Some girl reached out to me randomly on Instagram and she was like, hey, I really love your fashion design stuff. Like, you're really good at content creation, all that. Like, would you be down to start like an online business and do network marketing and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try, see if I like it or not. And I just jumped on a call with her and I was like, okay, explain to me what it is. And she did. And I just kind of went through everything and just started doing network marketing and started learning a bit more about trading and investing. So I know the stage that I was at when I started this business up. Like I clearly remember 2 days before I jumped on the call with her, I was literally sitting on my bed, bawling my eyes out because I'm the type of person that puts a lot of pressure on themselves. And I was like, I need to make something of myself. Like I'm turning 19 soon and then 20 in another year or so. And then, 10 more years and I'm 30. Like it was a bit scary for me. So I was like, I will jump on a call with you. No, I was like crying on my bed and I was like, okay, I don't know what to do. Like I need a sign. Like I need to start something new. Like should I just start my own business and blah, 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 blah. So many thoughts in my head. And I was like, okay, there's nothing to do. I'm just going to kind of wait it out. And then when that girl messaged me, I was very skeptical. Like, when you get a message from like some random person online and you think it's a scam. So I didn't really trust it, but I was like, okay, maybe this is a sign because I was literally bawling my eyes out 2 days ago. So maybe it's the universe telling me I need to start something new and take this risk. So I did that. I got started up, put my money into the business, and since then I've obviously been able to travel a lot. Like I've been to quite a lot of places in the last like year and a half, as well as being able to host a lot of events around New Zealand, and I'm flying over to Australia in literally less than 2 days to host not host but speak at another event, which is very exciting. But yes, like obviously with network marketing and trading and investing, I know a lot of people are very skeptical to start up with things like this, especially online with a complete stranger. But trust me, like that risk is so worth it. Like when I tell you, I cannot be more grateful. Like I was literally talking to my sister the other day because she started the business with me as soon as she turned 18. So I was like, imagine if I started when I was your age, like imagine where I would be in like another year's time. But at the end of the day, like, there's no wrong time to start a business like this, but I'm grateful that I did start when I had the opportunity to and didn't wait around or thought too much about it because that's where a lot of people get stuck, especially girls. Like they need to think over and over about it and then they never end up actually doing it. And I've done that before with a lot of business ideas and stuff that I had. But yeah, so I've obviously been in the industry for nearly 2 years and I do mentor other girls and guys in this industry to do with like trading and investing and network marketing. Obviously, I'm not an advisor or anything, but just helping them through the products and platforms and also just building up on those sales and network marketing skills on social media, especially because in New Zealand, we don't get paid for social media like people in America do. So the best way we need to do it is just by having an online business where that could bring us some income through helping other people getting started up on the business and everything like that. But yeah, there's like a little bit about me. And on the side, I just love going out to the gym, being really active, and just, yeah, I am a creative person, but haven't really done a lot of the things I used to do before I started this business up. But at the end of the day, I do get to travel and work on my own with my own schedule, which is something that I'm really grateful for. But yeah, is that kind of everything you wanted me to cover?
That's incredible, incredible. I'm like very, very fascinated. So you were originally getting into fashion, you said, right? So how
Yeah.
like that, like what was that transition like or that jump like? Because that's a completely different industry to go from
Yeah.
fashion to literally stocks and trading.
I know everyone says that. Like personally, I didn't know anything about trading and investing before as well. But I was like, okay, maybe I'll just try something new. Like I just hate going to a 9 to 5, and I knew if I did start my own business, it would take a bit of time for me to build that income, especially with fashion design. So I just went and started with the trading, investing, learning, and having an income coming through. It was very different. Like I still do love fashion design. I do like to make stuff every now and then, but now that I think about it, like it's really because like the age that we live in now, there's a lot of businesses to do with like clothing and fashion and stuff like that. So it's good to have a business that's to do with money and sales and just helping other people out, like things like network marketing and stuff. So I just had a really good sit down with myself and I was like, is like out of fashion design and trading, investing in network marketing, like which will be the most beneficial for me in the next like, 5 years. And fashion design wasn't something that was very, I guess, like 100% for me. So I was like, I'll just give this business a try. If I don't like it, I'll go back and start my own business with fashion design. But obviously, I've stuck around for so long now, I don't even want to go back. So yeah, it's a bit different, but I do love it.
That's incredible. So when the person reached out to you, were you doing anything that, what were you doing to capture their attention? Like, were you trying to dabble into trading? Like, how did that all
No.
transpire?
So she sort of found my TikTok actually. So she found me on my TikTok. I don't like I used to do those cringe TikTok dances back in the days. But after that I had like a lot of content with fashion design. Like I used to post like outfit TikToks, like get ready with me kind of stuff. And I guess she liked the network marketing aspect of what I was doing, like being really active and consistent on social media. So she then reached out to me on my Instagram because I had a lot of posts to do with like very I guess aesthetic. I think that's what a lot of girls like is just the aesthetic look on Instagram and like being really consistent. And that's what I was pretty much doing. And she was like, okay, this person could be very good in terms of network marketing. Like she's on social media, she's staying consistent. She's got her own niche. Obviously, that was fashion design.
Yeah.
So she told me about it as well on the course. She was like, you do fashion design, you could attract a lot of people that like the same field. Like maybe they love fashion design, but they want another side income, and you can help them through trading, investing, network marketing. So I think that was the main thing for her.
That is incredible. What is it that you personally like most about trading? Because I personally trade myself, so I'm very curious. Like, what really, really sparked your interest with trading?
Yeah, I think it mainly like at the start it was really boring, like because you're going over the education on like a repeat and repeat and repeat. But at the after you've kind of run through your education and everything like that, you actually get to trade yourself. And when you see those results come through, like you maybe like I probably made like $20 in my first like couple of trades, but it was still like, oh my gosh, like I could have made this much money from like 1 hour of work in my part-time job, but I'm not working. I'm literally on my computer looking at charts and making $20 through that. Like it's not easy money. Obviously, I did have to do a lot of education to get to that stage, but at the end of the day, it's better than going to a part-time job. And I was like, okay, if I can do this from just sitting at home and doing some education, like why does no one else want to do this? Like, why does everyone want to go to a 9 to 5 or a part-time job and sacrifice their time and freedom? So that was something that was really like fun to me. I would just sit at my, it was like playing games. Like I think trading is kind of like a game. You just learn the system and then you just try out a bunch of things that work for you and then place a few trades and there you go. You've made like someone's daily income in a couple of hours or through a couple of trades and stuff. So I think it's just that feeling that you get once you start making profits and you just it gets you into trading a little bit more. And that's what I've seen with a lot of people that I do mentor. Once they start making a bit of profit, they're like, oh my gosh, like this is actually fun. Like the education part is the boring part, but once you start making the profits, it's fun. And people do obviously lose money as well. Like I did lose money as and still do because that's trading. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, how can I make that money back? Like what did I do wrong? Like it's just, asking yourself questions and just being on your own and being able to sit at your computer and just place trades and look at the markets. Like, especially as a woman, I think it was just something that was very empowering for me because I didn't see a lot of girls doing this. So it was kind of like if a guy asked me, oh, so what do you do? I'm like trading. So it's just kind of that feeling that you get as well. Maybe just my ego, but it's kind of like, doing trading as a girl. I think it's quite cool, like, because not a lot of girls do, and it's just good skill to have as well. So that's something that really just stuck me to doing trading is to continue that and just kind of inspire other women that think this is a male dominated industry and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it is true what you said. Like if you ask a woman like what is it that what is it that she does and you say trading, it's going to be like, oh wow, trading, like it's completely out of the ordinary for most, you know? So I think it's
Yeah.
really, really cool that you do that. I want to backtrack a little bit if you don't mind. Like what was your upbringing like? Like you sound like you always been very creative. You always had an idea to always aspire to do something with your life. Like where does all of that come from? Was it like from the way you were raised by your parents? Like I'm really curious, what was your upbringing like?
Yeah, for sure. I've actually never told this to anyone, but like I obviously grew up in India. Like I've got four sisters. So I've got two older, two younger. And growing up in India, like we didn't really have many opportunities, especially because we used to live in like the very rural part of India. But then my parents moved to New Zealand like about 10, 12 years ago. And I was like, okay, this is really cool. Like there's so much I can do, so many opportunities and stuff like that. And my parents have always kind of been people that just do a lot of hard work. Like they've always been working super, super hard for money for the children and everything like that. And they didn't really mind the fact that I did fashion design. Like they always wanted me to like go do dance, go do, fashion, go do your stuff, just be good at something. So I think that's what kind of inspired me in a way in my background as well. Like my mom used to sew a lot, like she did a lot of fashion stuff and everything. I didn't really learn a lot from her, but I've kind of always been very independent because I did like I was pretty much like the parent of my two little siblings. Like my parents weren't around a lot of the time. So I kind of helped them grow up and like it kind of I guess helped me become a bit more independent and like kind of figure things out on my own. Like even in high school, I didn't have a lot of friends. I used to do things on my own and explore what it is that I wanted to do. And I think it's a good thing because a lot of people do complain about, I guess, having shitty parents or having shitty upbringings or sorry, this is weird or like just having a really like I guess bad upbringing with friends or like high school and stuff like that, which I did have. But I think instead of kind of dwelling on that and like sitting and being like, oh, I didn't have a good childhood or blah blah blah, I just kind of used that to inspire me and like spend a lot of time with myself and learn skills on my own without the help of anyone else. And I think that's what's kind of helped me become a bit more independent and try out new things and take risks because I don't have to ask anyone else. I don't have to rely on anyone else and just try out new things. Like I've always loved just trying out things. Like even when I used to work part-time jobs and stuff, I used to just do it for a couple of months and go to a next one because I get bored really easily. And I also just want to try new things and just do different stuff. So I guess it's a mixture of just a lot of pressure from my parents as well as just being alone a lot throughout like my high school journey as well as help like being the older sibling even though I'm like the middle child throughout my whole childhood and everything like that, which gave me a lot of time to kind of reflect and sit with myself and just do a lot of things on my own and just improve on a lot of skills that I could as an individual, because I know for sure like a lot of people do tend to spend a lot of time with friends and other people, and they don't really explore a lot of their own ideas. They usually just kind of go with the crowd and do things that their friends want to do and stuff like that. I've never been that kind of person. Like I just love doing things on my own. I think that's something that's helped me as well. I do tend to go all over the place when I answer questions, but does that answer?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I love it. I love it. I'm really really curious as well because you mentioned how you had like pressure from your parents and then you had to raise your siblings and everything. And you also mentioned how you always been one where you always been driven. You always sound like you always been driven. Where does that resiliency come from? Like, did you have a mentor that you always kind of like aspired to, that you kind of looked up to you? Like, where does that resiliency where do you think that foundation comes from?
Mm. I think like it's mainly from, I guess, a lot of pressure on myself, but also like growing up, I did used to do dance, and I did have I love this girl. Like she did help me a lot with not just dance, but also my mindset and stuff as well. Because after moving to New Zealand and to Wellington, I started working really closely with her, and she used to do a lot of like classes with like working on your mindset, figuring yourself out, your goals out, and we used to spend hours kind of running through our goals, doing yoga, doing mindfulness stuff. And I think that really helped me a lot. And she was pretty much like my mentor for like about 2-ish years. And that helped me a lot. And then I started this business up and then I got another mentor. So I think that's kind of what's helped me. But it's also just like, I guess, growing up with a lot of pressure from my parents in terms of, because my older sisters, one of them is studying to be a doctor, another one is studied to be an engineer. And I went and did fashion design. So it's nothing that my parents were like, oh, like that's really cool. You're gonna make a lot of money out of it. My parents really, really believe in that. But at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? You can make money through anything that you actually enjoy. So it's a lot to do with that. I just love listening to people. I think everyone that comes into your life is a mentor. Like you can quite literally learn from anyone and everyone. So whenever I do talk to people, whenever I, listen to people, I always have my ears open. I'm like always willing to learn. And I think that's kind of what's helped me as well to shift my mindset around quite a lot as well. But yeah, I would say like that mentor or that dance teacher that I did have throughout like when I was 17, 18, 19, like in between those years really helped me quite a lot in terms of just figuring myself out, my goals out and everything like that. So yeah, that's something I'm really grateful for her as well.
Do
Yeah.
you think it was much harder for you? I mean, being a doctor is hard to do. Hard to become an
Mm,
engineer is another hard one, right? Do you think
mm,
it's a little bit harder for you to be the one that's kind of doing your own thing as an entrepreneur, especially like trading, and then you have parents who kind of have different set of expectations of you. Like,
mm.
how was there ever like a pivotal moment where not necessarily you wanted to prove them wrong, but was there ever a pivotal moment where you kind of felt left out, or like what helped you navigate this process? Really, the point of this question is somebody else, has parents who they have different set of expectations for them, right? What piece of advice would you give them if their parents have a different set of expectations for them, but yet they just have this strong desire to do something a little bit different and they strongly believe that they can do it?
Mm. So one thing and I tell this to a lot of people that are on calls with me when I do my own business as well, because I guess because I'm brown, I attract a lot of brown girls, and brown parents are very strict, and that was my parents as well. Like, because my sisters did fashion, like, sorry, to be like studying doctor and engineering and everything like that, my parents did support them quite a lot because obviously they knew there's a lot of money that could be made. And in Indian culture, I guess doing fashion design, you're just sewing, like that's it. Like there's nothing else to it. So they're always like, oh, so you just dealing with fabric, like where's the money, like where you going to make. So I did felt that pressure, but at the end of the day, I heard this like I think in a podcast or in a YouTube video one time as well, that at the end of the day, like worst, like you don't want to imagine this because your parents are great, you love your parents, but in the next like 30, 40 years, maybe your parents are not even around and your parents told you to go study to be a doctor. You spend 6, 7 years to become a doctor. You don't even like studying, you don't even like the degree that you're doing. And then you spend 6 years doing that. You go get a job that's draining the life out of you. And then go work in that field for like 30, 40 years, have children, settle down, but you're not satisfied with your life at all. And then you blame it on your parents because your parents were the one who told you to do all that, but they're not even around now. So it's all on you. And I always tell this to a lot of girls and guys that I talk to as well. Like your parents are potentially not going to be around in the next like 30, 40 years. So what if you're at a stage where you just hate your life, you hate what you're doing, but you only did it because your parents told you to do? Like, would you be satisfied and happy? And that's what I thought as well. Like, yes, I could go study to be an engineer or a doctor or whatever my parents want me to do, but would I be happy with that? Like, would I be satisfied day to day to work in that field? And then the answer was no. Like, I didn't want to do anything that was anything to do with like nothing that wasn't to do with fashion design. Like I wanted something hands-on, something creative. And I was going to go study dance as well at some point because I just love the idea of I guess moving around and being able to create something. So yeah, like at the end of the day, it's just like your parents are not going to be around. They do want the best for you. It's good to take their advice, but it's your life, especially if you're over 18. You start making your own money. Just do things for yourself. Like once you do start making money and you are happy with your life, our parents are going to be happy. Like the only person you should be making proud is just yourself. Like, yeah, we want to like satisfy our parents, our siblings, whatever, but it's all on you. Like how your life turns out in the next 30, 40 years, it's all up to you. Like you can't blame someone else. And that's what I think a lot of people now do. Like the prices are going up, inflation, like blame the government, blame your siblings, blame your parents. Like people love blaming others for how their life is instead of changing and doing something about it. And that's kind of how I went into fashion design and how I sticked around to it. And especially with this business as well, like my parents didn't really know much about what I was doing when I started up. Like my parents do know a little bit now, but yeah, and especially another thing is like your parents grew up so differently to how you're growing up now. Like our generation is so much different, and like the job opportunities and our day to day, how we live is so much different to how they were growing up. So it's okay for them to have that opinion, but at the end of the day, you're not going to survive with their opinion in the timeline that we live in now. Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Yeah.
You have to that's a great point how you brought up how your parents grew up in a much different time than you did. So you kind of have to empathize with their point of view, where it is that they're coming from. I'm very, very
Mm.
fascinated. Where do you think that perspective comes from? Like you sound so advanced and much more mature for your age. Like, where do you think that maturity or that sense of perspective comes from?
I think it's mainly just from a lot of like like alone time. Like I spent like I think most of my like teenage years from 13 to 15 and just like journaling and reflecting and watching podcasts and reading books and everything like that. So I think it's a lot to do with just a lot of self-development and self-work and also kind of seeing my parents because I know they struggled a lot even to get us to another country. I think that's like a huge thing and I cannot be more grateful that they did that for us. So I do feel very empathetic towards that and like towards the money that they put through, towards the, jobs that they went through and everything that they've kind of gone through to get me to where I am. But at the end of the day, as long as I'm making money and I'm happy and love what I'm doing, I don't need to satisfy them as long as, I'm maybe paying them back for what they've like, done for me and helping them out and stuff like that. So I guess like being like, nicer in a way that, appreciate what your parents have given you, but don't sacrifice your future for your parents as well. So, yeah, but most of it, I would definitely say it's a lot just from like a lot of self-development in my early teenage years, a lot of self-alone time, and just kind of, just developing on my skills that I could. Like I literally went through like 6, 7 journals in like 2, 3 years when I was in high school because I just loved journaling and just reflecting and just I guess growing as a person because I believe in like that so much because I've seen it even through our high school. Like I've never had the same friend groups. I never had the same friends because I grow out of people so quick. Because if someone else is not growing with me, there's no point of being like sticking around with them. So I guess it's just just about self-development work throughout your entire life, because a lot of people like to say, oh yeah, you're healed, oh yeah, you've done the work on yourself, but I think there's never enough work you can do on yourself, or there's never enough healing you can do. There's always something to improve on and learn and about yourself and just to get better as a person, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. There's always room for improvement. I always say I always say improve yourself as little as 1% every single day, because that'll equal up to 365% of growth an entire year span. And again, there's always room for improvement. And if you can't find anything to improve on, trust me, you are just not looking in the right places. Because there's always room for communication. There's always improvement for maybe the relationships that you deal with. All these different things. There's always room for improvement for everything, for everything. I'm very, very
Yeah.
curious now. So you originally were going in for fashion, then you got
Mm,
into trading or by a mentor, or you were dancing, then you wanted to pursue fashion, then you wanted
mm,
to get into trading, then you started seeing some success and throughout like all of that. Now,
mm.
what did you always aspire to get into public speaking? Because I noticed that you got into speaking. How did all of that transpire?
I always did. Like, I always, growing up, like, I always envisioned something leadership for myself. Like, I do remember when I was little, like, I've got like this little image in my head where I was telling my mom, oh, I want to be a teacher. Oh, I want to be the police officer. So the teacher part came from just helping other people and just sitting in front of everyone telling people what to do. Like, I guess I've always been really bossy and just love telling people what to do. But then again, like, the police officer part or like being in the Navy, whatever, came from just loving the uniform. And as I grew up, I just love the idea of like teaching people or like speaking in events and stuff like that, and just loving, I guess, the professional look. Like, I've always loved looking good. That's why I went into fashion design. Um, and then the idea of like being a leader and speaking in front of everyone, like, trust me, I was not good at public speaking, and I'm still obviously improving on that as well. Like, I remember doing a speech in front of the class in high school. I think it was my second year, year 10, 11. I literally like I mucked it up so bad. I think the speech was like 10 minutes of like something, and I only spoke for like 3, 4 minutes, and I was like so red in the face, and I just hated it. I was like butchering every single word that I was saying. It was horrible, and I cannot forget about that speech because I embarrassed myself so bad in the class. But I think like since that day, I've been like practicing how to speak. I've been practicing how I can improve on certain parts, like, just certain things that I say and stuff like that. So I started speaking when I got into this event on Zoom calls and stuff, learning more about the business and becoming a bit more confident. And then I obviously hosted two events in New Zealand, one last year, one this year, and then speaking in Australia in like a few days. So I think it's just about consistently working and putting myself out there as well. Like, I've never been confident in speaking in front of other people, but I knew that this is a skill that I could improve on throughout my years if I just work hard and just put myself out there, just really just throw myself in there. And yeah, like, I always envisioned myself like being a businesswoman, being someone big, traveling, and just kind of, I guess, being in that professional look and just teaching other people. Like, I remember because I always made mood boards because I just loved the aesthetic of it. And I do have like photos of the mood boards I made throughout like when I was 14, 15, 16, 17. Nearly every single mood board there has an image of this girl in like a suit speaking in front of people. So it's obviously taken quite a lot of years to get there. But at the end of the day, like, I always envision myself doing something like that, just owning a business or being someone professional, being an entrepreneur, speaking in front of people, and just being someone big, not just like famous, but being able to influence people and just being able to speak on stages and just, be that girl that's, I guess, has respect and people can learn from in a way. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm very, very curious. So you got into public speaking. You said you always had like this drive to kind of be a leader, right?
Mm,
And you said you always want to have like you pretty much want to walk into a room and like authority speaks for itself, right? And like everyone just respects that woman that walks through the door. Where do you think that mentality comes from?
mm. I'm not too sure. Like, I genuinely feel like since I grew up, I think it's mainly also just kind of I like how I said I was kind of like the older sister to my little siblings, and like I was always like, especially in the village that I used to live in India, like I was just that girl that used to like be rude to everyone. Like I would yell at everyone, swear at everyone, even my grandparents and stuff like that. But I was also, on the other hand, the girl that used to do the hard work, like used to help my grandparents, used to go to the store at the age of like 7, 8, go get groceries, go help my mom out. Like I always loved doing and doing and doing and always telling people what to do and stuff like that. So people used to always say to me like, "Oh, this girl is gonna be bossy, this girl is gonna do that," and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, like growing up, like I guess I picked up on a lot of that, but in a different way. Like I think it's just kind of being thrown in the dead end from my parents as well, and just kind of having to do a lot of things on my own and having to take care of people. I think it's just kind of like the same cycle over and over again, but it's mainly, I guess, my mentality as well. But yeah, like I'm not definite where it comes from. I guess I can explore that if I like ask myself certain questions and stuff. But I think it's mainly just from like the upbringing that I had from my parents and kind of being told to be very individual and think for myself and do things on my own and stuff like that. I think it's a big part of it all.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah.
That's really, really awesome. When you first started doing public speaking and you said like the first time you were like scared, you were nervous, you had like a 10-minute speech and I think you finished it within like 3 to 4 minutes, right? And eventually got better with practice and persistence and repetitious work, pretty much to say the least. As you started to speak, what is one thing that you think you learned most from, the woman that speaks on stage now to the
Mm.
woman, to the little girl who spoke in front of her class for the first time? What do you think she could learn from the most? Like if someone was a little you watching this video, what piece of advice would you give them?
I would definitely say people don't care. Like, if you muck up a word, people don't remember, people don't care. Because I think that was something that I was really scared of. Like, even though I was very confident and very independent, stuff like that, I always cared so much about what other people thought. Like, I'm still trying to work through that. But yeah, because I think it's mainly comes from me trying to do my best in every situation. And I'm like, oh, if I don't do 100%, I'm not good enough. And I think that's what my younger self was focused on a lot, is giving my 100%. Like, and that's something that I learned from a lot of my mentors and everyone. Like, you don't need to be 100% good. You don't need to be 100% ready, or you don't need to, care about what other people think or worry about, or they're going to laugh at me after they leave because I mucked up 2 words. Like, people barely care. And I'm pretty sure all those people listening to me of that speech don't even remember me. Like, they don't even remember my speech because I don't remember anyone in their class or anyone in that like that did the speeches. Like I genuinely don't remember anything from there except me standing up on the stage and mucking up a couple of things. So I think, yeah, like at the end of the day, no one really cares, no one really pays as much attention. People are too carried away with their speech if they're going to speak or what they thinking about, throughout the day. So a lot of the times I think we focus too much on what other people are going to think instead of, oh, okay, what do I think about the speech? Like, do I think I did good? Do I think I put in the best I could have? And not just 100%, but did I do what was good to me? Like, so not focusing on giving 100%, just doing the best I can do, and also just like not caring about other people. Like, people are not going to remember. People are barely paying attention. They're probably caring about their speech or what they're going to say or what they're going to do throughout the day. So yeah, I think those are like the main things I would say. But yeah, definitely like the main one is just not caring. Like, I think I used to overthink and care too much about like other people's opinions and what they thought of me as well. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. What is one thing? Do you do anything before you do a speech? Like, do you do anything to mentally prepare you, or you kind of just got it?
So I try my best to prepare like a week or so, like a couple of days beforehand really well and get it come down. And I try not to do things last minute. Like I try not to like go through my speech one more time before the event. Like I did that for my very first time when I spoke at the New Zealand event, but now I'm like, don't do that because I remember something that my like maths teacher told me, but it was for maths, but she was like, because me and my friends were sitting in the maths class like literally 30 minutes before the test. And she was like, oh, what are you guys doing? And we were like, oh, we're just going to revise and go through the test. She's like, oh, that's not going to help. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, you're not going to remember anything that you revise now. And I was like, that's so true because a lot of the times we like to go over things last minute, but we're not going to remember any of it even because it's so last minute. And also a lot of the things we're probably going to end up saying or doing are probably not going to be anything that we went through. So just kind of like, I guess, yeah, not going through the speech or whatever you're about to do very last minute. So yeah, I try to like do my speech a couple of days prior, go through everything, do it over and over again, time myself and do it in front of someone else as well. Like I did it in front of my mentor. She helped me out quite a lot for my very first speech. Doing it in front of my like sister just so she can give me feedback and also recording myself and stuff. But then kind of leaving it, being confident that I know what I'm talking about, especially with this business. Like I've done it for 2 years. Like I do know what I'm doing. It just like don't overthink it. Like you know the products, you know the platforms, you know the company, and you know what you bring into the business. So don't overthink any of that. And like don't look at your notes or post-its or like whatever you're holding on to. Just give your best. Yeah, that's probably like the main thing. Just not doing things last minute.
What I'm very, very curious is, I mean, this would benefit me as well. I'm just genuinely curious, but also it would benefit a lot of others who want to get into public speaking. So I have my first speaking gig coming up at the end of this month. I don't call it my first just because, I mean, I've spoken in front of like 20, 30, 40 people before, just never intentionally, if that makes any
Mm,
sense. So what advice would
yeah.
you give someone who knows what it is they want to talk about? Like, obviously, you know your story the best, right?
Mm,
How do you know where to begin and how to end it?
mm. So could you repeat that again? Sorry.
Yeah, so like for someone who is going to do the first speech for the first time, right, the first public speech, like what advice would you give to that individual who I know you kind of just touched on it a little bit where you said don't do things last minute, don't go over it because you're going to forget pretty much everything you prepared for. Like what advice would you
Mm.
give to that individual who is going to be presenting the first speech for the very first time?
Mm. So I would go back to the 100%. Like, you are going to make mistakes because I still do in my speech. So be prepared to make mistakes. Be prepared to miss out on things that you maybe were like, oh, I wish I should have talked about this. I was going to talk about this because yeah, you definitely are going to like maybe miss out on a couple of notes or like points that you were going to say. So just do your best to go through your speech all over. Try and like, I get like what I like to do is I don't like to write paragraphs. I just write little notes for everything that I'm going to say. So just maybe like introduction, what am I going to talk about? What is there quote after that? Is there question after that? What's something that I want to mention? Is there product after that? So having like little notes to go over, especially if you are holding things, just have like a little tiny thing for every single topic. Don't have a whole paragraph because I seen one of my girls did that at the event that she spoke about. She was reading off her phone the entire time. It was the first time as well, but yeah, I would probably say just have little notes, go over your speech a couple of times, time yourself, and like do different, I guess, tones as well. And make it very engaging. Like obviously, people love hearing about the value that you bring, but also people do also get bored. I think everyone's time span is, I think it's like around 30 seconds or like 5 minutes, something like that. After that, people do lose their time span or something. So you want to be able to engage them, bring them, like have them engage in the first like 30 seconds to like, 5 minutes. And after that, you can kind of go through your speech. But yeah, so main thing I would say, just prepare for it in advance as much as you possibly can. Just believe in yourself, like just trust yourself that you do know your stuff, you do know what you're talking about. Don't doubt yourself. Don't like have thoughts all over and over again. Don't overthink anything because at the end of the day, as long as you like, there's only probably like one thing that comes out of your mouth that like sticks with someone because I know a lot of times that when I listen to people, there's literally I'm not even listening half the time, but there will be like one point that they make and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really cool. Like that guy said that so well. So I think as long as you have something that could really stick with someone, um, that's all they kind of need to hear, and the rest they would be like, they would love that you did that speech for them, even if they weren't listening the entire time, as long as they got something out of it, even if it's like a quote or something motivational that you said, or something cool about the product or what it is that you do, or some like your story, like if you're storytelling and maybe they like that you grew up on the farm and you had this and that, like, as long as they can relate to you as well. But yeah, that's probably what I would say.
Yeah. No, that's a great answer. Now, I noticed I want to talk a little bit more about trading because you seem very passionate about trading. What is
Mm.
something that you are like most thrilled of? I know we kind of touched on a little bit about it earlier, but what is something that really just hooked you from the get-go? Like what do you
Mm.
love so much about trading?
I think it's not just the trading itself, it's just the freedom that I get with the entire business. Like, even combined with network marketing, like, I just love the fact that I get to, again, like, sit at my computer, analyze markets, and just make money. Like, I think it's just so much better than going to again, 9 to 5 or like a typical job. I just love being able to just have that knowledge and be that independent girl, knowing my stuff and being able to help other people out. Like, that's the main thing. Like, if I have the knowledge to do trading and investing, I have the ability to go help someone else out. Like, for example, my sister started a couple of months ago. She had no clue about trading and investing, but the fact that I get to teach and help her make money is something that really stuck to me. And I think with the entire business, not just trading, the main thing I love is the fact that I get to help other people. And something that has kept me here is just people seeing results. Like, whenever someone in my team makes money, like I had one girl that started up with me, and in a couple of months she sent me a photo at like a dinner that she went to with a family, and she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that you got me started up in this business. Like, look, I went to this fancy ass dinner, I paid for all of my parents' food and my siblings' food, and I feel so grateful. And that just like stuck with me because I was like, oh my gosh, like I did that for her in like a couple of months. Like, I brought her into the business and now she's able to do that. So mainly it's just about their satisfaction from other people's success that I really do enjoy, not just my own. Like, yes, I'm making money, having the freedom to do what I want to do and being able to have the time to myself and everything like that. But it's also about just helping someone else out and bringing that satisfaction to someone else. And like a couple of days ago, I had this other girl start up with me. She came to my event that I hosted in Wellington a couple of weeks ago, like over a month ago now. And at the end of the day, because I invited her, she came up to me and she was like, oh my gosh, you did so well, blah, 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 blah. Like, I want to join, but she's like on the benefit. She's struggling with money. And in New Zealand, on the benefit pretty much means you're getting money from the government. And she's got 2 kids, single mother, and she literally broke down crying in front of me. And I was like, oh, this is so sad. Like, I wish I could, I would literally pay for you if you just want to get started up, and then you can pay me back after you make the money. So I think it's just about me knowing that people do have potential. They do have the ability to learn about trading and investing and make money because I've done it. Anyone else can as well, because I always thought like, oh my gosh, like that girl's living so cool. She's able to do trading, investing, and travel and do marketing and work on social media. Like, if she started off normal just like anyone else, why can't do it as well? So that's the mentality that I love and that I know a lot of the girls that do have. I just love helping other people out in that way as well. So yeah, mainly it's not just about the money or just the trading itself that I do. It's mainly just about helping someone else, having them see results and changing someone else's life. I think that's the main thing that I really love about this entire business. But
Yeah, it's not about the money, it's all about the impact.
yeah, exactly that.
Oh, that's incredible. How is your sister liking trading now that she went from not knowing to, obviously trading and having you as a mentor?
Yeah.
How's she enjoying it now?
She does really enjoy it. Obviously she's still in like the learning phase that I was at when I started this business up. So she's still learning and like, doing her education and everything like that. But she just knows like obviously once she gets to my stage and she's able to trade, she's able to see the money, she'll be even more satisfied. And she also does the network marketing side, which is pretty much about making an impact and helping other people. So I think she does enjoy the network marketing side a lot more than just the trading, which I do as well. Like, personally, I enjoy the network marketing side a lot more because I get to make an impact. And with trading, I get to help other people out with the same knowledge, which is again really helpful and goes hand in hand. But yeah, she definitely does love it. Like she's currently working like a full-time job and she uses that money to put into her trading and investing stuff and a lot of her travel and everything like that. So she's trying to get to the point where she's able to see big profits and big results and get to the same stage that I'm at the moment. But she just started a couple of months ago, so I know it's going to take her a bit of time. Like, it's a whole journey with the trading, investing, and network marketing. But she definitely does love it, especially I think having her sister as a mentor is kind of tough. Like that's what I've realized as well. Like if you've got a friend and that's your mentor, if you've got a sibling and that's your mentor, it is a bit of a tough situation because you can get in a fight and then they're like, oh, I don't want to learn from you. But again, I've got my mentor, so my mentor helps her out a lot more than I do because then she will listen to my mentor. But if she doesn't listen to me in a way, I guess. But a lot of the times it does work. Like, I used to have a lot of friends that used to do the business and I used to help them out. But it's very 50-50 because if you have a close relationship with someone and you're trying to mentor them and help them out, you just have to look at it in a different perspective. Like you're just their friend and you're just trying to help them out rather than like, I guess, being a mentor and everything. Yeah.
And how do you balance that? That's actually a good point.
Like the network marketing and trading and investing.
How do you balance, being a mentor but a friend at the same time?
I'm still kind of working on that. Like, I'm definitely not the best at that because they will be like, well, I can't do this. And I'm like, okay, that's right, I understand. But I think it's just about trying to give them the best advice that you can and what you know from your own perspective, and then just living it. Because what I've learned from this business as well is that you can only do the 50% and they do need to meet you halfway. Like, it's kind of like a relationship. You put in 50%, they put in 50%, so you both get benefit out of it. So that's what I try to do with a lot of like, close people that I have in the business or friendships that I have made in the business is that kind of being professional, but also being friendly enough to have a chat or being their friends, but also wanting the best for them. Because if they're a good friend, if they have that mindset, they will know that you do want the best for them. You do want them to learn, do the education hustle. But at the end of the day, they are your friend. Like, I am your friend, I am your sister, but you do need to do this work if you want to see the results. Like, I can't do the work for you. I'm here to help you out, give you that motivation, jump on calls and do the best of what I can, but you need to do the work and put in the effort to get those results because the work's not going to be done on its own and I can't do the work for you as well. So just having that boundary in between being friendly but also staying professional, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. For the way I would reference it is, they are the vehicle. I mean, they are the fuel and you can be the vehicle, but it's only up to them, to show up for themselves as well.
Hundreds.
I think it's extraordinary, like with everything you're doing. We're getting to the end of the episode, here. I have a few more questions before we get to the rapid fire questions. Is
Mm.
what is little you, no matter the age, what is little you most proud of the person you are today?
I definitely think just the community that I've built within this business is the fact that I envisioned this for myself, like, 10, 15 years, not, yeah, 10, 15 years ago. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be, living independently, doing things on my own, having the freedom to travel, being a businesswoman, being able to help people. Like, that was my main goal. Like, I always wanted to donate and help and just give and give and give. And the fact that I am able to do that now very comfortably is something that my little self will be very proud of, is like the woman that she is now. Like this, like I'm at 100% that I'm someone that I could look up to, like the little me could look up to. Like I have the life. Obviously, there's so much to improve on, so much to work on, but I'm definitely someone that I would look up to as a little Neha, because of the life that I'm living and the impact that I'm making and the person that I've kind of become throughout my entire journey. And there's probably not a single thing that I would change. I like don't have any regrets. I don't regret doing certain stuff or not taking certain opportunities because everything has happened for a reason, and I'm grateful for everything that I've learned throughout the entire journey. So yeah, I would definitely be proud of myself for where I am and just being able to have a business, have a community, helping people out, being able to make money and build a future for myself where I have the freedom and I am making an impact and being able to do things independently instead of having to rely on anyone else. the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's remarkable. Do you ever see yourself like becoming an author within the foreseeable future?
I don't know, like I'm not good in English. Like that's probably like my least favorite subject. I do love writing. Like I definitely do love writing. Like I loved journaling. I used to write poems and stuff when I was little, but it was never great. But did think about it when I've thought about every single idea out there. So I did think about it at some point. I think I did start writing like a little bit about like not my journey, but just like what I loved and like just how, I guess mindset wise, but it wasn't like a actual book type of thing. It was just kind of like a page here and there. But yeah, definitely something for the future that I could consider, but not something that I've looked into just yet. Yeah.
Yeah. I know you
Fully.
mentioned journaling, that's why I wanted to bring that up. Now,
Yeah.
the question I'm really curious about, and I ask everyone on the episode this question, is what is something you wish more people asked you, but they don't?
Mm. Um, mm, I wish people, I guess, I wish people asked me how I actually felt about like not just this business, but how I feel about like why I do what okay, I can't speak why I do what it is that I do, like what's the reason behind it, because a lot of people obviously with network marketing, trading, investing thing, like obviously since network marketing is commission based, people always think, oh, she wants to make commissions and that's why she's helping me out. But genuinely I just love helping people out regardless. Like if I could do this business for free and still live comfortably, I would 100% do it because I just love how being able to do this. And one of the girls in the business asked me this the other day. She was like, "Oh, once you start making enough money and you are living comfortably and everything like that, would you still be doing network marketing?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" Like, it's just not like the money that I love. It's just the community and the business idea of it, and just being able to make that impact. Because if I'm alive for as long as I am and I'm able to do this, I'm more than happy to. So yeah, I think I wish people kind of knew what I feel when I'm wanting them to do this business. Like, I just want the best for people. I want them to see what I have seen and like make the money that I'm making and just live the life that I can envision for them after they talk to me and share their goals and everything like that. So, yeah, it's mainly just about, being able to kind of not exactly read my mind, but being able to see the what I want for them instead of just seeing the surface of like, oh, she's making money, she's able to build a team, she's able to blah, blah, blah. Like just about the fact that I actually do think about other people and that I do want the best for others, I guess. Yeah, I would probably say that's the main thing.
Yeah. I love asking that question just because it's thought-provoking and I'm very curious with the response out of it. That was a great response. Now, are you ready for the rapid fire questions?
I hope so.
Okay, some of them are not so rapid fire, but I call them rapid fire questions. So the first one is, what is something people see on social media and think is easy, but in real life is not?
I would definitely say content creation. Like, yes, it is easy. And the hard part is not just like thinking about content, but it's the fact about like getting over that fear because a lot of people that you see on social media might come off very confident or, they don't have anxiety or they don't have this and that. But I think social media is quite a lot to deal with. Like, you're gonna get hate, you're gonna get people that, say stuff about you behind your back and everything like that. So I think content creation or just like being on posting on social media is a tough job, especially if you didn't grow up confidently and you're working through that. Like it's a really hit in the back for a lot of people. But again, it's where the money is. So you just kind of do have to get used to it. But it's not like easy thing to deal with, especially once you start getting quite famous or like start having a lot of people engagement from a lot of people, you do end up getting a lot of hate, a lot of threats, and a lot of just negativity from a lot of people. So it's just about saving yourself from that. So yeah, like a lot of people do think, yeah, content creation is easy, which I guess it is to some stage, but the part that like, the pros and cons of it, I guess the cons aren't that easy in terms of content creation. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a double-edged sword. What
Yeah.
what hurts more, being doubted by strangers or being doubted by people you know?
I definitely think people that's something that I had to deal with as well at the start. Because when I told my siblings and stuff, they were like, "Oh, I don't believe in
Mhm.
this," blah 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 blah. Same with my friends, like I had the same issue. A lot of doubts from my family and friends, but I also learned like when you on the journey to be an entrepreneur or when you're doing stuff like this, your family's very less likely to support you. Your friends are very less likely to support you. Like I'm only friends with probably two people since I've started this business. I've cut off everyone because your family's not going to support you. They're not going to understand you. And strangers are the ones that are going to help you make the money. They are the one you're going to get a lot of support from. And that's something that you do have to realize and sit with. And at the end of the day, if people want to go to the top with you, they do go. If they don't, it's fine as well. So yeah, I'll probably say family and friends is the hardest, but you do just have to get over it. They're not going to understand you because they know the old version of you and they see that. So when you start something new, it's just like a whole thing for them. Like, oh, when did you start doing this? When did you start doing that? And everything like that. So you gotta be prepared, but it does hurt. Like, definitely, I think it does throw you back a little. Like, I nearly quit this business because of what my like family thought of it, and I was like, you know what? They will understand once I start, getting there and seeing having the results that they, I guess, want from this. So yeah, I think family and friends is the hardest thing because you know them since you were born.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What is one thing you had to stop caring about if you really wanted to grow?
Other people's opinions, probably the main one, or like what other people think. Because yeah, like I've obviously been like I said before as well, like I guess kind of my own person making decisions on my own and everything like that. But in the back of my head, I always had that, like, what if that person thinks this? What if this person thinks that? Or do I need to show up this way or that way? So I think just kind of getting over the fact that this is your life and you get to choose what you do. And if you want to be successful, you're going to get more hate than people that work a 9 to 5 or people that want to settle for the regular. You have to do things differently. So, yeah, just being able to settle with the fact that people are not going to be happy with what you do because people hate people that do more than them. So, yeah, definitely the main one. But yeah,
That's a
just,
great
yeah,
one.
yeah.
People want to see you grow or do better, just not better than them.
Yeah.
What is one thing that instantly tells you you are, excuse me, what is one thing that instantly tells you a person's energy is off?
Um, I think like as in off as in like oh they're negative person or like they're just
Yeah, like a
yeah.
negative person, approachable, or something is just like you should be distant about that individual.
Mhm. I think definitely someone that's always hanging out with other people. Like I've learned that in my recent years as well. Yes, it's good to have friends, hang out with friends, go to parties and stuff like that. But if your friend or if someone that you know, like someone that you just met, is always consistently going out to parties, hanging out with people, always doing something with other people instead of spending their time with themselves, it's very, very hard to for me to relate to those people as well because they're so like either self-centered in a way where they just want everything for themselves and they're just very negative on other people and stuff like that, or they're just really scared to be with their own thoughts and with themselves. And that's why they're always hanging out with other people. So I think that that's someone that I don't really like approaching or like working, not exactly working with, but I guess kind of being close to because if you're always hanging out with other people, if you always need to have company, where do you give yourself the time to sit with your own thoughts and work on yourself and give yourself like, the self-development and self-growth that you need to make? And those are the people that don't really sign up with like, with the business that I do because they're so like, about other people. Like they have to ask their friends, they have to ask their boyfriend that they've been with for 2 months, they have to ask their parents. Like I think a lot of people that are very out focused don't really know themselves well enough. So I think those are the people that I usually like to stay away from. And those people tend to be very negative as well because they've always left off other people's opinions and feedback. So yeah, it's just about, I guess for me, it's very important that you kind of know yourself well enough. So that's something that I really look out for in other people as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is something you do daily that looks small but actually changed your life?
I would definitely say a lot of reflection, a lot of reflection on like what it is that I do, my daily tasks and everything like that. Because I've been doing it for such a long time, it's quite easy for me to do, but it's kind of like I guess giving yourself the criticism and being sitting with yourself and reflecting on like, if you've done enough or if you should do more. And with this business, definitely like you're doing the tasks that no one sees. Like people do see the travel, they do see the public speaking, they do see the, going out to the gym at 12 p.m., but they don't see a lot of the work that goes behind like Zoom calls every single day or talking to people, messages or everything like that. So I think obviously part of the business tasks that I do, but also just the reflection and the hard work, the late nights and everything like that that I also have to go through in order to, I guess, build this business and also just work on myself and make the most out of, I guess, my 20s and if, like self growth and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. If your closest friends described you in one brutally honest sentence, what would they say?
Mm. I think it definitely. This is a hard one because most of my friends are in the business. So I guess confident is something that they will describe me as like not just like confident as in oh like she's confident to go up and talk to people like do speeches or do this and that, but also kind of knowing my self-worth and being like okay, I made this decision, I'm happy with it, I don't need other people's opinion. So kind of just being very self independent, but also just being confident in what it is that I do day to day and being able to do things on my own without having to rely on other people or like have other people's opinion invade what it is that I need to do. So I definitely think confident. But yeah, it depends what friends you ask because I've obviously got the business friends and then I've got like, my other friends and stuff. But definitely I do hang out with a lot of people in the business a lot more. So I think confident and caring, I guess, is probably the two words. But if I say one word, definitely confident is the main one. Yeah.
Wh- What is something from your past that was one of the most challenging things you had to endure through that you are most proud of?
Um, Challenging things. I would definitely say like mm, I've kind of like mentioned a lot of it before, but it's kind of like being a law independent, but in a way where it's kind of like I think like it was very hard for me because I moved out of my hometown, lived on my own, like none of my siblings have lived on their own for the longest time ever. Like I was the only one to move out of my house and also quit uni, drop out of uni. None of my siblings did. So I think it's just the fact that I'm able to kind of go my own way. Like it's definitely very, very scary, very overwhelming and everything like that. But that's something that I would say is kind of done a lot of growth for me that I feel really, accomplished about in a way as well. Like the fact that I was able to do that at an early age. I think a lot of people are very, very scared to do that. So yeah, that's probably something that I would say. It's quite a lot like definitely like not caring about other people's opinions, not caring about what your parents think and everything like that. There's a lot of like small little challenges and stuff like that, but it's mainly just about being able to hold my hand and be like, okay, I'm gonna do life on my own without having someone else's help, but like not in a way that you don't ask for people for help, but in a way that you can do things on your own without having to rely on anyone else, like your friend or your family or your man or whatever it is. Just being able to handle challenges on your own and be a problem solver instead of blaming other people or having other people solve issues for you. Because yeah, that's the main thing about this business as well. Like you need to be able to problem solve, and if you can do that when you're day to day, you get better at the business as well. So yeah, just kind of being able to handle challenges, being independent enough to do that, and just kind of getting through things on my own, unless I need help from other people. Yeah.
Yeah, your emotional intellect is remarkable.
Thank you.
Um, what now? We're at the end of the episode here. So what? what is your social media? Let the world know anything and everything you want them to know. Your social media, where they can find you, any and all projects you're working on. What is it that you want the audience to know?
So, absolutely. So, obviously, I do, like I said, network marketing and trading and investing. So, if you are listening to this podcast and you love trading, investing, or you want to get into trading, investing, or network marketing and start working online, obviously, if you already have a job or you go to uni or whatever it is that you're doing, you can do this on the side. That's how I started up. Like, I used to work a full-time job, part-time job while doing uni full-time. It is definitely manageable. So, if you want to learn a new skill, especially things to do with trading, investing, and sales and marketing are skills that are never going to die down, regardless of AI, technology, or war or whatever. Like, if you look at the war, like a lot of countries were shut down or, like, had a lot of things going on. People couldn't go to work. If you look at the gas prices right now, people can't even go to work at, some countries and stuff. So, if you had the opportunity to work online just on your computer without having to worry about going to a physical location in order to make money, how good would that be? So it's just about having that freedom for yourself. So yeah, if you are someone with that mindset of, like, you want growth, you want to do more for yourself, for your future, and like not just, for now, but for later on, then definitely check out I do have my main Instagram, which is Neha Jat _7. And I do also have TikTok, which is pretty much the same as well. But yeah, we can link things at the end of the video. But yeah, so definitely my Instagram is the main platform that I use for a lot of what it is that I do. But you can always message me, and I am currently working with a lot of girls from New Zealand, but I also do work with girls from like Ireland, Dubai, and Australia and stuff like that. So regardless of wherever you are, you can definitely get started up in the business. It is very international, and I do mentor girls from all over the world, not just here. And we are planning on doing like a couple of trips in the next couple of months. So just like, collective trips with the team, going, on like little incentives and getting trained, doing master classes, improving on skills and doing fun activities and being able to work from other location. Like, that's something that I'm working on. It's just the travel opportunity side of things, but also then a lot of like hosting more events around New Zealand and other countries as well. So yeah, so mainly just the travel opportunities and hosting events and stuff is the main thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and absolutely any and all information, social media links, business links, anything and everything she wants me to have within the description will be within the description as well. So please check the links down below. And for the audience listening, please let me know and comment down below, where did you feel less alone within today's episode? This is Become the Victor, where we turn trials into triumph. I am your host, Victor Guerra, and again, we have Neha Jat joining us with us today. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And as always, remember, grow through what you go through. Much love.